पेपर 2 यूनिट 7 में है अभी. So we have gone through most of the areas regarding population, migration, human adaptation. ये सब हो गया है. Now second part, they have given us resource, meaning all these things we have already gone through. So we have a gap here in agriculture type actually, because when we studied about the agriculture type, we have studied only the Indian part. So I think today we can discuss about this agriculture type in world context में कैसे है. You can see multiple types of agriculture that is being practiced throughout the world. So important among them are given in today's class actually. After that also actually we have gone through minerals, iron, copper, सब we have almost covered किया है, but that is also based on Indian context. So what we are going to take on coming classes is regarding minerals of the world. ये सब world context में कैसे है, that we can discuss on coming classes. So for today's class, we are going to discuss about the agriculture types. When we say about agriculture types, the world agriculture types mainly we can divide it into 10. ऐसा नहीं है. You can see the same pattern in the Indian context as well. Nomadic herding हो, subsistence farming हो, जो भी हो, shifting cultivation हो, everything you can see in Indian when we studied about the Indian agriculture types. But the same we can follow to the world is, but what different is the area, location. So you want to understand where this is being located on the world maps. That is the main thing you want to study in this part actually. So first one is actually the nomadic herding. So nomadism is actually एक जगह से moving from one place to some other place in search of food. इसके लिए तो we are moving. Here nomadic herding means moving from one place to another along with animals. So they can herd, they can take their food. The farmer or the domestic animals will get food. The rearing of animals on natural pastures. Pastures means grasslands. So natural pastures they can be given food, because the climate where these nomadic herders are is mostly dry climate. So you don't get the pastures or grassland throughout the year. So they want to move from one area to another to feed their domestic animals, especially cows, sheep, goat, ये सब चीज होगा, animals होगा इसी जगह पे. There they are practicing nomadic herdings, mainly seen in semi-arid and arid regions. So if you look at the areas, you can understand that it is in the northern Africa. So Sahara, part of Arabian Sea, Arabian Peninsula, and part of northern Eurasia. So ये सब जगह, northern Eurasia बोलने से that is almost dry, wet, dry, moist, cold, dry desert regions होगा उसी area पे. And other than this, Africa, the Sahara Desert and Arabian Desert. So people here are mostly moving from one area of the desert to another area where they are getting greeneries, and so they can feed their animals. They keep moving with their animals in search of natural pastures and lead a nomadic life. That is why it is mixed. Actually, one part is nomadism, moving from one place to another. Herding means feeding the animals को feed करते हैं. So that is one of the type of agriculture practice that is being followed. Second one, shifting cultivation. So this is mainly practiced in northeastern part of India and Asia का जो portion है उसी area पे है. But when we see the world context, we can see shifting cultivation mostly is in the forest region. So what is this shifting cultivation? A plot of land is cleared. एक जगह होगा, एक forest area होगा, नहीं हो तो there are lot of trees एक area पे होगा that is been fell down, trees or grasslands, उसको तो निकाल देगा उधर से and they will burn it. They will burn them and the ashes are then mixed with the soil. इसके लिए क्या है? So ashes will be mixed with the soil. It is potassium. So the soil will get fertility. So fertility मिलेगा and they can cultivate their crops. That is the first step in shifting cultivation. The second shift, they will continually use this land for agriculture, but after some time the soil will lose its fertility. So they don't do anything on that to regain the fertility. कुछ नहीं करेगा. They will just abandon करेगा. And they will move to new plot. किसी और जगह पे where there are enough vegetation cover होगा उसी area पे जाएगा and they will again cut the trees and burn it and it will be mixed with the land and they will start their agriculture at those places. So इसका main problem है pollution. बहुत ज़्यादा pollution होगा and the removal of forest areas. As the population who is existing in this shifting cultivation is comparatively very low. So we are not bothered about that. But the thing is that if you look at November, December months in Delhi, you can see it is not shifting cultivation, but near to that area, especially Punjab, Haryana, UP region, the farmers will burn their paddy field. So that will create pollution to Delhi. So in urban context, it is a big problem. But regarding the shifting cultivation that is been occurring in the interiors is not that much affect the pollution, and the area. Why? Because when the farmers is keeping the land there and moving to some other place, they will start cultivating and they will stay for many years. So what happens on the other side? The where they have left that area will retain its forest cover later on, because natural growth will be occurs at those areas as these areas are not intervention by any of the humans. So उसी area में बाद में automatically forest cover आ जाएगा and again they will move back to this area or some other places. ऐसा होगा. So environment impact in this sense it is comparatively less, and the major crops what they are producing is maize, potatoes and cassava. ये सब चीज है they are producing, and this shifting cultivation it is also known as slash and burn agriculture. So slash is slashing the trees को slash करेगा and they will burn it. So that is why it is known as the slash and burn. So 85% of the total cultivation in northeast India, जो हमारा इसी एरिया पे इंडिया का नॉर्थ ईस्ट एरिया है, यहाँ 85% of the cultivation is like that. This is not the data, recent data नहीं है, अभी बहुत changes हुआ है. Still we are following this shifting cultivation in many areas. And regarding the world context, the forest areas of Amazon, so American area Amazon, then the tropical African region में, part of Southeast Asia and Northeast India में, we have the shifting cultivation. So all these areas where the forest cover is high, they used to do this because they have enough forest area, and if they burn it, that will come again, and the nature will retain that place again. So that is shifting cultivation. So isme you want to study these areas where this is occurring in the world context. Then the third one, intensive subsistence agriculture. So intensive, continuous subsistence for livelihood of the farmer itself. Farmer का अपना livelihood के लिए and agriculture. So अपना subsistence, अपना existence के लिए to feed the farmers themselves, they will cultivate. That is subsistence agriculture. And intensive agriculture means they will grow at that place continuously. Intensive, they will give pressure to the agricultural land. The crops are grown mainly for local consumption. If there is surplus, they will sold it in the market. So it is not mandatory. The main aim is to use the local consumption. जो भी बनाता है, अभी पैडी हो, सोयाबीन हो, शुगर केन हो, जो भी बनाता है, that is mainly focusing on the existence of the locals. Locals के लिए ही है. But यहाँ बाहर if there is surplus, they will sell it. The farmers cultivate a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. So that is why it is known as intensive. That is, they are using more labor. So it is a labor intensive agriculture भी है. Tools कम है, labor ज़्यादा है इसलिए. And it is mostly practiced in monsoon areas. Monsoon area, especially अभी Indian context में, monsoon Asia region में, you can see this intensive subsistence farming. Major crops they are cultivating are paddy, sorghum, soybeans, sugarcane, maize, and vegetables. So this is the third type of agriculture, that is intensive subsistence agriculture. Then the fourth one, that is commercial dairy farming. When we studied about the white revolution, 𝗏𝗏𝗰𝗃, we have discussed about 𝗏𝗏𝗃 who put forward this concept of white revolution in India. So we said it was like that. We have made a revolution in the field of milk production and the dairy production. So it is like commercializing dairy products. ये कैसे किया है? They have made available of the market facility ज़्यादा किया है, rural area में ज़्यादा production को initiate किया है, and the marketed in urban area को they have initiated and they have linked these two. So there is commercial activity happened between that. So it is mainly in the world context. If you take mainly the commercial dairy farming, you can see in Denmark and Sweden. Origin in Europe area पे है, but mainly you can see Denmark and Sweden area में है. There is the maximum dairy farming or dairy products you can see. Close proximity to the market and temperate climate are the two favorable conditions for this commercial dairy farming. तो यहाँ animals होगा, dairy mainly dairy products बोलने से milk का जो products है, घी है, ये सब चीज milk, घी, curd है, सब चीज को they will sell to the market, commercialize करेगा, उसको तो preserve करेगा and they will sell it on the market. इसके लिए तो क्या, one is the temperate climate. So इसका मतलब क्या है? The temperature is comparatively cold in this region, so they can preserve their dairy products for longer time. If you move to the tropical area, the condition is entirely different. It will the milk product, the dairy product will get ruined very easily. Otherwise, they need preservatives or freezing refrigeration is required. So that is one of the favorable condition. Another one is the proximity to the market. So they have the entire Europe market. उसके सामने ही है. This Denmark and Sweden, it's a part of Europe का part है. So they have a bigger market nearby. In India, it has been come after White Revolution. तो ये दो नाम याद रखना है, Denmark and Sweden. That is the commercial dairy farming. Then commercial grain cultivation. So commercial means doing agriculture for economic purpose. Subsistence means for self, local consumption के लिए जो use करता है, that is subsistence. Commercial बोलने से that is mainly for economic purpose के लिए जो बनाता है, that is commercial grain cultivation here. Highly mechanized cultivation होगा. So intensive farming और modern agriculture है. इसमें क्या cultivate करेगा? Grains, mainly grains. We can see grains बोलने से अभी maize, wheat, रागी ये सब इसके अंदर आ जाएगा. तो यहाँ in commercial grain cultivation maximum production is given to wheat cultivation. Highly mechanized होगा. Farms are very large, extensive areas of farms होगा, but low yield per acre है, but per capita yield is high. Yield per capita is, तो इसका तो output commercial economy तो ज्यादा है, लेकिन comparatively low yield है per acre में. Because then how we will get maximum economy? Because the farmlands are very large, and mechanization is required. Because when we studied about Indian context regarding the agriculture, we said about the extensive farming. In extensive farming बोलने से the land इसका तो ऐसा है, बहुत ज्यादा acreage of land था. Same है commercial grain farming. Instead, here in this context we are using grains already. In Indian context, if you are cultivating, if you have plantation, mango plantation, orange plantation, rubber plantation, that also comes under the extensive farming में आ जाएगा. But यहाँ it is grain farming only. Eurasian steppes in regions of Chernozem soil, Canadian and American prairies, and pampas of Argentina, and world of South Africa, and Australian downs, and 𝗂𝗏𝗏 plains of New Zealand. So what are these actually? These are actually, all these are grasslands. उसी area पे grassland prairie से बोलने से that suits for grassland. So उसी area पे instead of these grasses they will grow this wheat. Then they will get maximum output per capita. They will get, that is called commercial grain cultivation. Then livestock ranching. तो इसमें livestock है, nomadic herding आप सुना है, तो इसमें animals का same चीज था, लेकिन they are moving from one place to another था. यहाँ क्या है? Livestock ranching है. So what they are doing? They are using instead of dairy product, their maximum production is for beef, mutton and wool. So meat के लिए सबसे ज्यादा use करेगा animals को. There will be permanent ranches. Large number of cattle, sheep, goats, horses are kept. ऐसा एक एरिया होगा, ऐसा छोटा ग्रास लैंड होगा, एक्सटेंसिव एरिया पे होगा, एंड उधर क्या होगा? दे विल ग्रो, दे विल डोमेस्टिकेट कैटल, शीप, गोट्स, ऐसा वाला एनिमल्स को डोमेस्टिकेट करेगा. एंड देयर मेन पर्पस इज टू प्रोड्यूस नॉट डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स, इट इज बीफ, मटन, वूल, ये सब चीज को यूज करेगा बोथ फॉर होम एंड फॉर एक्सपोर्ट पर्पस के लिए, especially in temperate grasslands. तो प्रायरी रीजन हम बोला है, तो उसी ऐसा टाइप का एरिया में वी कैन सी दिस काइंड ऑफ livestock ranching. So what differentiate is, mostly they are using for meat. These animals they are domesticating mainly for beef, producing meat. Then Mediterranean agriculture. So Mediterranean agriculture one of the important type of agriculture है, क्योंकि this area the climate is not at all supportive ही नहीं है उस एरिया पे. There is dry climate है, warm climate है उसी एरिया पे. This is usually near to the usually in countries which is near to the Mediterranean Sea area. Mediterranean Sea area पे farming is intensive है, highly specialized and varied in kind of crop races because climate harsh है, तो इसमें traditional method of farming is not possible. So what they will do, they will use mechanization, they will use high yield variety seeds, जो भी modern techniques है, that kind of input they will give. Like Israel, that is one of the state, उसी area पे है, Italy, ये सब area पे you can see ऐसा वाला cultivation you can see. So what they are maximum producing are wheat है, बार्ले है, वेजिटेबल्स है, सिट्रस टाइप का फ्रूट लाइक लेमन, ऑरेंज ऐसा वाला फ्रूट्स है, देन ओलिव्स एंड ग्रेप्स. फ्रॉम ग्रेप्स दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग वाइन्स. दिस इज द लार्जेस्ट एरिया ऑन द वर्ल्ड वेयर वाइन इंडस्ट्रीज यू कैन लोकेट. मैक्सिमम वाइन प्रोडक्शन इज इन दिस मेडिटेरेनियन एग्रीकल्चर रीजन्स. This is also called orchid lands of the world. तो ऐसा है. तो harsh climate है, dry climate है, soil is also not that much fertile है. So in this harsh or unfavorable agriculture condition, cultivation के लिए तो अच्छा नहीं है. Still they are producing through intensive farming, highly specialized and varied crops, high yield variety crops use करके they are producing and getting the output. So that area is taken as separate agriculture, that is Mediterranean agriculture. Usually we can say semi-arid type का climate है उसी area पे, like that we can say. Then mixed farming. So mixed farming, from the name it is mixed. So what is mixing? They are raising animals as well as planting crops too. So crops भी है साथ में animals है. That is a mixing. Farming is very intensive, sometimes highly specialized as well है. तो इसी एरिया पे तो ये mostly happens in developed countries में है mixed farming, क्योंकि उधर उतना ज्यादा हाई टेक्नोलॉजीज चाहिए ये दोनों एक साथ करने के लिए. प्लांटिंग क्रॉप्स के साथ रेसिंग एनिमल्स आल्सो. फार्मिंग इज मोस्टली इफ यू लुक नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न यूरोप रीजन में है, ईस्टर्न नॉर्थ अमेरिका में है, रशिया एंड यूक्रेन ये सब रीजन में, अमेरिका, यूरोप, रशिया. सो ऑल दीज कंट्रीज फॉलो दिस मिक्सड फार्मिंग, मिक्सड टाइप ऑफ फार्मिंग. तो इसमें मिक्स है, मिक्स. Along with that, it is actually the 9th agriculture type है market gardening and horticulture, or it can also known as market gardening or horticulture, or it can also known as the truck farming. So it is also practiced in same regions like developed countries में maximum इसका तो cultivation है market gardening का. What they are practicing is practice mainly the cultivation of vegetables, fruits and flowers, mainly for urban market के लिए. So vegetables, fruits and flowers cultivate करेगा in the rural area and they are aiming mainly to urban market के लिए ये तो supply करेगा. तो क्या होगा, बहुत extensive area में if you look in if you move to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, you can see extensive areas of vegetables, or extensive areas of flowers. If you have seen some of the South Indian movies also, you can see extensive areas of flowers in the songs. So what they are cultivating is flowers. So what they do, they will pluck this and they will carry this through trucks and move to the urban area and they will sell it. So that is the market they have. In world, it is being mainly practiced in Britain, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Northeast USA. So इसी area पे, this is also developed country में है. All these are developed country. Maximum is occurring at these places. So these two, mixed farming and market gardening and horticulture or truck farming, is practiced in these areas. Then the final one, it can be said as 9th one or the 10th one, that is commercial plantation. So commercial plantation, most of the plantation were developed to commercial plantation here. This is mainly during the time of colonial period. Were developed to provide some of the important tropical crops to European markets. So what is happening is, in the early time when the Britishers moves to other part of the world, they are actually in temperate region, most of the areas. So they want to grow some kind of plantation crop like tea, coffee, rubber. ये सबको develop करना था, and they want to get that in their market. So they have colonies in different part of the world, including India, Africa, Latin America. Yes, sub country mein they have the colonies. So they have started cultivating or planting this tea, coffee, rubber in the highlands area, tropical highland area. They have started cultivating and they have started producing these products. So ऐसा हो गया, and they have marketized that to European regions. So इसके बाद में क्या हुआ? They have left the place, and right now in these areas you can see the local people are cultivating these crops like tea, coffee, rubber. Yes, सब the local people cultivate कर रहे हैं, and they are selling it to within the area and to other market regions. So that's it. These are the major agricultural types of the world. You can add many because most of them abhi in wetland farming hai, dry land farming hai. You can add it, but on a wind context, we can go to this. Yeah, itna sa bolne se bhi ho gaya. So what are they? First one is nomadic herding, then shifting cultivation, intensive subsistence agriculture, commercial dairy farming, commercial grain cultivation, livestock ranching, then Mediterranean agriculture, mixed farming, then market gardening and horticulture, then truck farming, and finally the commercial plantation. So these are the map. This is the Mediterranean area where I have pointed out. तो इसके सामने जो भी एरियाज है, you can see these are Mediterranean climate में है. तो इसमें then you can see nomadic hunters, you can see at these places. Nomadic herders, you can see at these places. Commercial grain farming, you can see in developed areas. यहाँ इसी एरिया पे you can see, इसी एरिया पे you can see, इसी एरिया पे you can see. So Europe, इसी एरिया पे you can see. ऐसा मल्टीपल. इंडिया में if you look intensive subsistence farming, you can see India में you can see here. That's it. Actually, I have given you some reference. I have not gone through that much of reference, but because it is not that much required. But maybe there is high chance of asking this in descriptive type of questions. इसी एरिया पे कुछ डाउट है?
No, sir.
Okay, actually we can stop for the day because next class may minerals hai, so there is no relation. That's why I took this portion. So next class may we will discuss about the minerals of the world.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.